Hey, my name is Paul Balck with Balck CPA Review. So today we're taking a look at Alimony Recapture, which is tested on the regulations section of the CPA exam. Okay, so Alimony Recapture. What this is it's basically saying you're calculating how much of your alimony payments you're going to have to include as taxable income. So here's the deal. When someone has a divorce, they are oftentimes asked to pay a monetary amount to their spouse. The amount they're paying is considered alimony. That cash amount is considered alimony. They're allowed to deduct that from their yearly income, so they pay less taxes. So what some people try and do is they try and front load the alimony payments. So they'll take 10 years worth of alimony payments and pay them in the first couple years. And so what this calculation does is it figures out, okay, you paid too much alimony. You need to take some of that and include it as income. It's a way for people to try and say, okay, so maybe I made $100,000 of income this year. Well, I'm going to take my 10 years worth of alimony payments, pay it in the first couple years, and I'll pay no taxes. What some people also try and do is say, all right, I've got a house worth $200,000. The judge told me to give it to my wife, so I'm going to include that in alimony. Well, you can't do that. So basically what they're trying to do is lower the amount of taxes they have to pay on their income because alimony is tax deductible. So what this calculation is going to do is show you how much of your first couple years of alimony payment needs to be recaptured or added back to your income. So you have to pay taxes on it, all right? So we've got a formula here, and what the CPA exam is going to do is they're going to give you 3 years worth of alimony payments. And you've got to figure out how much of total recapture you have, or they might ask you for year 1 or year 2 recapture. However, the way this always starts, you have to figure out second year recapture before anything else, all right? So the first thing you're going to do is take the amount of alimony paid in year 2. You're going to subtract the amount of alimony paid in year 3. That's going to give you the excess of year 2 alimony payments over year 3 alimony payments, all right? From that, you're going to subtract $15,000. That will give you your year 2 recapture. Okay? Now, we've got our first year recapture. You have to calculate second year recapture before you can calculate first year recapture. So what you're going to do to find first year recapture is take the amount paid in year 1, subtract $15,000. Now this is where you need year 2 recapture. You're also going to subtract the average of year 2 and year 3 payments after you subtract the amount of year 2 recapture that was calculated here. Okay? So from the amount you paid in year 1, you're going to subtract $15,000. You're going to also subtract the average of your year 2 payment, your year 3 payment, less your second year recapture. That's going to give you your year 1 recapture. To find your total recapture for year 3, you're going to take year 1 and year 2, add them together, you get your total recapture. Okay? So that's your basic formula for alimony payment recapture. And we're going to go ahead and look at a formula so we can take this sort of abstract thing and make it into what you're going to see on the CPA exam. So here's a typical question that you will see on the CPA exam. They're going to give you 3 dates and 3 amounts of money. So it says here, Jim pays alimony of $60,000 in 2010, $35,000 in 2011, and nothing in 2012. And that's a good indication that he front-loaded his alimony payments. He made a lot of money. He paid a lot in 2010, a little bit less in 2011, and nothing in 2012. It says, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look and plug these into the formula here. All right? So we've got year 1, year 2, and year 3. Year 3 he didn't pay anything. Year 2 he paid $35,000. And year 1 he paid $60,000. All right? So let's figure out our second year recapture. So you're going to take the amount paid in year 2, $35,000, right? You're going to subtract what was paid in year 3. They paid 0 in year 3. So the excess of year 2 payments over year 3 payments is $35,000. From that, you're going to subtract $15,000. So your year 2 recapture is $20,000. Okay? Now we need to figure out first year recapture. So the amount paid in year one was $60,000. Okay. You're going to subtract $15,000. Now you're going to subtract the average of year two plus year three less the alimony recapture from year two. So how are we going to calculate that? All right. You're going to take the average of year two and year three payments. So that's $35,000 plus 0, right? So $35,000. You're going to take the average, but first you're going to subtract year two recapture, okay? So that was $20,000. All right. So you have $15,000. We're taking the average of the 2 years, so you're going to divide it by 2. So 7,500. So you're going to subtract an additional 7,500. All right. So your year one recapture is 37,500. Okay. 37,500. So now your total recapture is going to be the year one recapture, which is 37,500. You're going to add to that your 20,000 from year two. So your total recapture is 57,500. Okay? It's a long formula, but it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. The problem is you have so many of these straightforward, simple formulas and regulations that it gets complicated to try and remember it all. The best way to do it is just to keep doing problems. But this is a good quick overview of alimony recapture. So Jim here in year three has to recapture $57,500 worth of the alimony payments he paid and consider that income. So he was able to subtract this from his income in year one and year two. However, he wasn't supposed to, so he's got to claim it in year three and pay taxes on it. All right. And that will wrap up Alimony Recapture. Again, I'm Paul Black with Black CPA Review. If you're looking for CPA review material, go ahead and check us out. Look at our samples, and I hope you have a good day.